Hello, everyone. I'm Eustace Leon Greaves Jr., your insurance and financial services advisor and coach. Here with another Just Thought You'd Like to Know segment on the Greaves Financial Channel on good old YouTube.com. What I want to touch on today and possibly over the next 5 or 6 segments is to talk about the aftermath of Hurricane Irene. You can go to my blog, brooklyncovered.com. Again, brooklyncovered, one word.com, for more of the nuts and bolts. But I want to talk about some things we should be doing in the aftermath of Irene, because it seems to be human nature that we go through a horrific event, such as a hurricane, earthquake, and we had both in the same week. And we all ran out to the supermarket to buy food. We all ran out to the hardware store to buy certain essentials. And I know people who've told me that they've already, used up all their emergency water because they said, what the heck, the hurricane is over. Folks, hurricane season really lasts until November 1st, and I get the feeling that it's going to last beyond that date this year. So there are just a couple of things I want to touch on in the next few segments. Again, things I just thought you'd like to know that can help us be prepared not only for a hurricane, and the flooding and the wind damage that may accompany it, but an earthquake, a fire, just about anything. And so let's start with something I consider essential, and that is what? Access to information. This is a portable, crankable radio. You see that little red light up there? This radio, you can charge it by cranking it. Okie doke. Now, unfortunately, the battery that comes with it, that would normally charge by that, it's basically used up, so I have to replace that battery. But it takes 3 AAA batteries. It also has a port right here for DC in, so if you have a proper DC cord, you can charge it. But again, if there's no DC, you've got the 3 AAA batteries, and when you have the proper dynamo battery back here, you can literally crank it and charge it. And if you have a proper extension or attachment, you can actually charge your cell phone from this. It has AM, FM bands, even TV, and most importantly, a weather band. It also has a light, a flasher, an alert, and a siren. So imagine you don't have your emergency whistle and you need to catch somebody's attention. You can hit the siren, and trust me, when this thing goes, you hear it. And again, this was $30, and I think part of the cost went to make a contribution to the American Red Cross. Get yourself one of these radios. Keep it at home. It should be in your home emergency kit. That's number one. Next, lighting. Lanterns. I love flashlights. So ever since I've been a Boy Scout, when I discovered during my Boy Scout years on camping trips how important it is to have flashlights. I prefer these lanterns because they give you some terrific light, great beam distance, things like that. So get a lantern. Here's my fact. This is what I like to do. If there's 4 people in a household, you should have at least six sources of light. So I like the lantern, and that's for just walking around to see where you're going. And I bought this several years ago. This is also a lantern. This one is by Rayovac. It's a little dated now, but you have a searchlight as well as a regular lantern light so that all in the room will have light. And of course, regular flashlights are great too. For every lantern, for every radio, for every flashlight, my feeling, you should have 2 sets of backup batteries. You can use rechargeable, you can use whatever you want. Problem is, you need to have batteries in the house. These are D cells, which work in this unit right here. So, for today, that's it. Just thought you'd like to know these things to think about, things to start to gather now, when you don't have to run out and spend your last dollar just to hopefully be halfway prepared for an emergency. The best time to prepare for emergency situations is when you don't have an emergency. So take a suggestion, I can only suggest it, and start to put these things together so that when you need them, you'll have them. My name again is Eustace Leon Greaves Jr. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I look forward to talking to you next time on Just Thought You'd Like to Know.